Hello guys, and welcome to a new chapter. This chapter is going to be a little bit different as we're going to talk about something called SEO death. Yeah, this subject is a little bit strong and requires a lot of knowledge about certain SEO related things. So, we're going to split it into 3 parts, each part talking about multiple things concerning the topic. So let's get started with our first video in this chapter, which is our first part in the SEO death chapter. So guys, we're going to start by explaining to you what Blackhat SEO means. So Blackhat SEO is basically when you're implementing an aggressive SEO strategy that focuses only on the search engine tactics, but eventually loses its human aspect. So it's not targeting human audience anymore. It's just trying to go through the various SEO obstacles without caring about who's visiting the website. It's blindly trying to get higher rankings, which of course can sometimes be considered as spam. Because you're trying to put as much keywords and stuff, as much attractions for crawlers so you can actually climb the rankings, which will turn out disastrous in the long term. However, people who are looking for a quick financial return without caring for their reputation sometimes use this technique. But again, these are mostly scams, because no real company would want to have a bad reputation with people, right? So definitely, we highly recommend that you avoid using Blackhat SEO in any possible way. This way, you can actually keep your website safe and make sure that you'll get organic natural visits and that you've got yourself a good reputation. And that's what you really need when making an SEO plan. So how Blackhat works exactly? Well, they mostly use something called Spamdexing. What it means is that it basically uses many spam ways to try and index the website in Google's ranking, but of course bad indirect ways, and of course not suitable to the normal human audience. So it's going to be filled with lots of nonsense and fake words, so that's why it's considered as spam. So our tip for you is to stay away from that method at all, even if someone tried to convince you that it's a good method. Just don't use it and stay away from Blackhat SEO at all costs, because this will really destroy you. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is doorway pages. So doorway pages are pages optimized with specific generic keywords that ultimately aim at a specific other website. So if you have multiple doorway pages, they will all aim at the same website. And that's why they are called doorway pages, because it's as if they are a doorway to the website. But Google hates these websites, because they result in the search results giving redirections to the same website. So this doesn't really help the users in getting various results, right? But actually just getting the same website all over again, which can sometimes be boring. People want to find different results, not the same results. And luckily, Google Penguin came and started to penalize these websites, and started to even push them back in the rankings. And obviously, that's why we're telling you and warning you about the doorway pages. Don't make the doorway pages at all. To be honest, they were used as a successful strategy back in time. But right now, with Google getting updates every day, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do anything that can raise suspicion and might get you penalized. So in short, doorway pages nowadays are a failed method of trying to get high in the rankings. So don't use this method at all. Well, since this chapter is called SEO death, probably it means that we're only talking about bad things, or even things that could lead to your SEO death. So concerning bad things, we're now going to talk about quality links. Bad quality links can take many aspects and meanings. And of course, there are another type of links that we want to avoid, so let's see what exactly they are. So, there are links from bad blog comments that can be considered as a spam, or links from spammy articles that are full of the same keywords, or even links from low quality websites, such as websites that have bad web design or bad reputation. Or even sometimes they can have unuseful content. And also links from websites with illegal content. And most importantly, they are the paid links, or the links that you pay to trick Google's web search into making your website appear more often in a better ranking. So all of these are different types of bad links. We want to avoid them at all costs. And the reason we want to do that is because you don't want to get penalized. Well, of course, you probably won't get penalized for your design, but you might get penalized for paid links and spammy content. So make sure that your website and the links you include are that of high quality and that they'll give you a push forward and not backwards. So far, guys, these are some of the things that may cause your SEO death, but there are still more things that we have to warn you about. This was just the first part and there's still more, so stay tuned. Hello guys, and welcome to the second part of the SEO death chapter. Today, we're just going to add a little more bad things that can lead to your SEO death. So let's get started. So carrying on with the things that can possibly harm your SEO plan, we have the full screen ads. Google has started penalizing websites that use annoying full screen ads that prompt users to visit a specific page or install a specific app. Because users tend to find them very annoying, Google has decided to punish the websites who use these and make them fall back a little bit in the ranking. Some examples of these ads are the interstitial ads that pop up during the user's reading of the web page's content, or even when they click on a certain button or try to interact with the page. Well, users tend to find them very interruptive, and they simply just ruin the user experience of the website. So avoid these ads. And basically avoid anything that pops up in new pages, so users have to close it and carry on browsing. These are the kind of annoying interruptive ads that everyone hates. Even you as a website owner, if you tried to browse your website and you found those, you would be very annoyed, right? Well, however, a smart way to use these kind of ads is to make them timed. So when the users are done visiting your website and are about to exit it, you can then show these pop-up interstitial ads that you want. Right now, this might not get you penalized, but who knows what the future updates hold. So stay on the safe side and try to diminish full screen pop-ups as much as possible, even if timed. Well, the next thing we have is over-advertising. A lot of website owners decide to fill their whole page with ads everywhere so they can get as much profit as possible. But guess what? If actually your page has more ads compared to the amount of content that you are offering, this will definitely ruin your ranking, as you're not providing as much useful content as you're just trying to earn more profit. Yeah, this will make users dislike your website and they might even get bored and decide to leave it because of the over-advertising that exists on it. So keep the number of ads minimal to moderate. In the end, what we're aiming for is to reach higher ranking and not get more money using ads. The amount of organic traffic you would get if you're in a better ranking is definitely way better than those amount of money you will earn from those ads. So just forget about over-advertising at all. And the next and final issue that we'll talk about in this video is too many outbound links. Well, outbound links to good websites is always a good thing, right? And we actually previously advised you to use them. But overusing them and even hiding them as anchor text isn't always a good thing. And even if all of the links are decent ones, it's still no excuse to put too many outbound links. Because this will eventually confuse your users and they won't be even focusing on the target of your content, but instead, they'll just end up with opening many links to other websites and just jumping from page to another page to another page and so on. So this will also let the crawlers think that you're trying to redirect people to too many different websites and that your website is very inconsistent. So keep the consistency high and try to put these outbound links only when necessary. So we figured out a cool thing that you can also do is to put the links as anchor text, but redirect the users to pages within your website. Well, this way you can connect your articles and pages in a smart, beautiful way while letting the users stay longer on your website. See, we just hit two birds with one stone. And guys, that was the second group of the issues that may lead to your SEO death. So consider them carefully and try to use our tips to make sure you don't fall in one of the traps that you might encounter when setting up your website. We know that most of the things we mentioned might seem tempting to do, right? As they may get you instant results, but on the long term, they will lead to massive failures. And still, we're not done yet. We still have one more group to go, so stay tuned with us.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and go to technicforce.com for more tools and training.